Hello, Mary. Could you please give an introduction about yourself?
Hi, I'm Mary Diamond, and I'm a filmmaker from Canada.
Filmmaker. What
Yeah,
brings you to the real world as a filmmaker?
actually, it's been a few years that I run my own business, my own filmmaking business. And the main issues I heard from the real world from a friend, and the main issues was that I did not know how to sell myself. And that was a big issue because, yes, I was good at what I was doing. I was closing some sales, but it was always small sales, and I did not know how to talk, how to speak, how to sell myself for big production that I was dreaming of. And the business mastery, all the sell classes with Andrew Tate, Tristan, and Arno really helped me to sell myself. And actually, I doubled my revenue this year because of the courses. So I'm blown away actually.
To give some perspective there, how long have you been doing filmmaking before joining the real world?
8 years. I'm 28, so I started at 20, and I'm self-taught, so I learned all by myself. But actually, there's a lot of classes in the real world about editing, and there's a lot of things I didn't know. So I'm still learning things in the real world that I did not even know about editing and the mid journey part, how to create custom storyboard. With the AI, there's a lot of thing adding because the world is changing, and I really learned a lot of new things like the AI part, and it really helped me with myself. For example, with the mid journey classes, you learn how to create images like really custom, and I'm able to now do storyboards for my clients to present to them to close bigger deals like commercials, short films, so they really understand the visual that you have in your head, because it's very hard sometimes to you have big ideas and you don't know how to present it to the client, and it has been an issue for me. So the mid journey class really helped me actually to do a better pitch for the client.
Amazing. And the reason I asked that is because 8 years of filmmaking, and then after joining the real world, you doubled revenue. So clearly, a lot of value there for marketing yourself. And
Sure.
as you just said, a lot of new things to learn as well, even with that prior experience. So, what actually led to you joining the real world? How did you find out about it, and why did you actually decide to join it?
Actually, I heard from the real world from a friend, and I think it lasts a year. Like a friend of mine, he joined for in 2023, I think, and I was hearing Andrew Tate yelling and everything, and I thought I liked his character, and I really listened to what he was saying, and I was like, this guy is a genius. He's brilliant, and I always been a person that is looking at the world in a other perspective, because I see things clearly around me, and it really inspired me. And I was like, "What does guy have to say?" So I clicked to the real world link, and I saw that there was courses, selling classes, and everything. I was like, you know what? I'm gonna give it a shot. So I joined the real world, and then I went to the business mastery class, and I saw that they were having a selling class and everything. So I started listening to it, and I was like, I saw a lot of values in the selling class with Arno, and it really helped me. And I was like, okay, this I'm doing wrong with my selling. So I saw all the issues I had and why I could not land some clients I wanted. So I
Mhm.
saw the issues in my business actually when I joined and when I listened to the courses.
Right. And earlier you said you had plans for big production. So is that a lot clearer now, the roadmap to actually get there, now that you've joined the real world and see what's possible?
What do you mean by that?
The roadmap. So
Yeah.
the plan you have for reaching the and making big production. I don't know how the terminology for that would be. Is it a lot clearer now how you'll actually get there after having joined the real world?
Yes, for a lot of reasons. First of all, it's not really it's a lot about the talent, and I worked on my expertise a lot. And sometimes when you work a lot on your expertise and you're really good at what you do, but you cannot, you see other people having the big deals, and they have sometimes even a little bit less talent than you, and it's weird to watch because you're like, why can't I have those clients? And you have everything, you have the portfolio, you have everything, but you just can't land those clients. And I learned that in the real world, that it's not just about the art, it's not just, it's about how you sell yourself. It's the part that was missing in my career, and that's why now I double my revenue, and it's very impressive to see, and it's so much clearer in my head, so much clearer, because I'm like, okay, I was doing it wrong, because it's good, because I like what I do, I'm passionate, and the clients, they feel the passion in me. But sometimes I wanted like the result more than the client. So
Hmm.
it's like I was giving too much, and it
Hmm.
was not business wise. And it's just the way to sell yourself. It's a very specific path that you need to take, and it's psychological. There's so much stuff I learned from Arno, and I'm really glad about that.
Hmm. Does anything come to mind now from what you learned in these sales lessons? So, for someone listening might also be an artist in some way, and they're just not good at selling themselves, what kind of advice can you give them based on what you've learned?
The first advice is speed, because what I learned is that speed was not on my way, because I was very slow sometimes at responding, and sometimes it was just, for example, I was editing a video for a client, but I thought that the result was not perfect enough. But instead of telling my clients this is the first version, and we can adjust like a few things like the sound and everything. What I did is that I did not send anything to the client. So sometimes the client was frustrated because of the delay. So speed, 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 no speed. I was just so concerned about everything to be perfect, and I just learned to speed up the process a little bit. And afterwards, you have the chance to adjust the video like you want, but just give something to the client, because if it's too long, like the service is not good. So speed is a very big lesson. And also it's just to have a better connection with the client. So it's very important to have a connection with the client. You can small talk a little bit at the beginning, just small tricks like that I was not doing, because I was just too much straight to the point, straight to the selling. And I did not take time to listen to the person either. So it was a little bit too much of, I was talking a lot and I was not listening a lot, and that was an issue too. So there's a lot of just small things like that, small details that I was not applying, that was sometimes lead to not a sale, because I was not listening enough to the client. For example, you want to know how much budget the client have, but if you don't listen to what he says, you cannot like predict how much money he has. So you have to
Right.
listen when he speak. But I was just speaking all the time, so I was not listening. So now I let the client speak, so I can say, oh, okay, he talk about, oh, I don't have 5K, but I have 10K. So, oh, okay, so I kind of know what budget he has.
Why did you get into filmmaking? Was it something you wanted to do as a child, or was it something that developed a bit later in life?
Actually, when I was 11 years old, I was on my computer, and my sister showed me, I think it was Movie Maker. So the very first, it's very old, okay, it's like dinosaur thing. And she showed me like editing software, and I started to take some shots I was doing with my friends, and we're starting to make like music videos. When you're in elementary school, it's not very very beautiful. And I was like, oh, you know what, I like to do that. I was like, I like to take the camera and then create some films and stuff like that. So it was a passion I had at the beginning. And when I got to college, I studied communication and drama. I don't know why. I just didn't know what to do. I knew I liked art and everything around that, but I did not know what to do. And I heard from filmmaking it was starting at that time, and it was not even a thing. Instagram did not was starting. TikTok did not exist, so I was really at the beginning of the era of filmmakers, videographers. So I bought a camera and I started knocking at doors, and I found some video deals with the festival around my area, and I was delivering like very good stuff, and they were impressed, and they were like, you know what, we're gonna hire you for another deal. So it just went on from then, and then I moved to a bigger city because I knew I could find better deals there. And I was investing with my own money. I didn't have a lot of money. I borrowed some money to buy the gear and to have a better production value. And then it just went on like that. But I just didn't know how to sell myself because I didn't have any class about that. So I was just improvising the whole thing. But it worked, but I just hit a plateau of the revenue was always the same, and I was not having the deals I wanted, so that was the
And
issues.
now that
That's why I'm the real
yes,
world.
and now that you've broken through that plateau and actually doubled your revenue, what else do you see for your future then? So for short term, medium term, and long term, what plans do you have?
My biggest dream is I really want to enter the Netflix area, the big production. I'm more in the fictional area, so I want to develop my expertise for storytelling even better for a short film. I already do. I We shot a short film last month, and I had a 15K budget to do the production and everything. So I really start to push further on that. It's not an area that is easy because you need to find big money, because it's not like corporate video. The corporation, they already have money, but in the filmmaking and the fictional type of work, it's very different. You need a big budget actors, and it's very big production. So but I like that a lot, and that's the expertise I want to push further. And yeah,
Mhm.
the big dream is to go on to Netflix, Crave, and all the streaming platforms to create stories that I write, to put them in films. And yeah, the big dream is that I also want to develop my YouTube channel. I know there's courses about that, and I want to push further on the influence. So I want to make behind the scenes. I want to give advice for filmmaking on my YouTube channel. So I'm starting that this year. So it's
Mhm.
my project for the future, and I'm going to continue with the commercials and what I'm doing, but I really want to go next level.
Mhm. Okay. And how have you implemented AI into what you're doing, considering there are some new advancements in that which can help with filmmaking, I'd imagine? I know earlier you mentioned Midjourney. Could
Yeah.
you go some more in depth into how you actually use Midjourney, and did you use any other tools as well, or so far only Midjourney?
So far, actually, it's only Midjourney. I know there's other courses, but I'm very new in the real world, so I have a lot of things to learn. And I went to a lot of campus to crypto. I learned to do some crypto to diversify my revenue. So I went really on every places to see. I was curious because there's so much value and so much things to learn that you get a bit overwhelmed because there's so many courses. But yeah, the main thing is Midjourney, and also the editing part. So I got some tricks here and there. After Effects, I want to explore more because I want to diversify my expertise with special effects, because it's harder for me. But for the AI part, it's really Midjourney, and it's really to make images, like custom images with all the prompts that goes with it. So to uh, to be able to make a great mood boards for my clients to present the pitch, how I want the scene to look like. For example, for the short film we did, I every scene, every shot list I wanted to do, every shot I custom did it with Midjourney because of the courses I did in the real world. So I created the whole storyboard so the actors could understand like how the scene would go, and all the team could understand how the scene would go. So it's so much easier for everybody on set to understand how you see the scene. So everybody goes in the same direction. It's very, very helpful. It's an amazing tool.
How much time does that save compared to if you were to try do it manually yourself?
If you do it manually, you draw it. That's what I was doing
Yeah,
before.
exactly.
I
So
was
how much
drawing.
longer does it take?
It's so much easier with Midjourney. I don't know how much time I save, but I definitely save a lot of time, like a lot of hours, maybe days. And it's just more, it's clearer. The client, the crew, they can see what you mean. Because when you draw and you're not good at drawing, it's not very good. And there's also other tools that they before Midjourney that you can take some inspirational shot, but it's not the same vibe. Because if I want the scene to look like I want a red light behind, I can custom prompt it in Midjourney. So all the lighting I can custom it in Midjourney, and it looks very realistic. I can also put the face of the actors on the picture, so it makes the experience better to present it to the crew and the client. It's very realistic. I like it a lot. So much better.
Okay, indeed. Okay, so you mentioned briefly getting into crypto. Did you end up actually making some money there from the lessons you implemented, or are you still fairly new to the whole crypto space?
Actually, I did the classes, but I did not enter the experience class because the exam is very hard. Actually, I tried twice and I'm still failing. But I like a ledger, so I bought the stuff to protect myself. I know how to protect myself in crypto, so my money is not stolen and everything. I'm investing a little bit, but I still have some issues understanding like the blockchain and everything. It's very nerdy stuff, but I kind of like it. Did I make money? Yes, I made a little bit of money, twice, 2x, 3x, but with small amounts, so nothing to change my life. But uh, I guess that someday maybe I'm gonna make more money with that. But it's
I
cool
guess
to have other ways to make money than
exactly.
filmmaking, always filmmaking. So it's very cool for me to learn that, because I honestly I don't know where else I could learn crypto than the real world. Like I don't know any platform except the real world that they teach you really how to do great crypto. So
Because anywhere else, you don't know the if the person has an ulterior motive or why they're telling you what they're saying. Like they could have bad intentions, is what I'm trying to get at. Whereas in the real world, you know, what is taught is 100% legitimate and with good intention.
yeah, sure, totally. And also, I saw in my area there is people that give crypto classes in French, and it's like 5K. The course is 5K. I'm like, what? 5K? In the real world, you have all the campuses for $50. Like, there's nothing beats that. There's so much knowledge for the amount of money you spend. It's insane, insane.
Right. So to wrap everything up, for people who are unsure about joining because they're thinking, what if for $50 I get scammed? What advice would you have to those people?
Honestly, I would just go for it. It's $50. Like, just don't go to Starbucks. You're gonna have your $50 at the end of the month. It's so worth every penny. You just have to put the work in. There's a lot of campuses. There's a lot of things you can learn: e-commerce, crypto, content creation, AI, business. There's so much things you can learn to make money fast, and it's very impressive. Actually, I'm very impressed of everything, all the knowledge, all the content, and I haven't been through all of them. I actually would like to take the e-commerce course to launch maybe products relating to filmmaking. So it develops your avenues so much, and it's a game changer, honestly.
Mhm. All right. So, for people who want to find out more about you or about what you're doing, where could they do so?
They can find me Instagram MDiamond Films, YouTube MDiamond Films, always the same name, and TikTok also MDiamond Films. But I'm more active on Instagram, and YouTube is coming soon. I have a short film that is called The Status Quo that is available, so it's a very new project, and I have a behind the scene that I shot too. So I'm starting the journey on YouTube, and I really want to give advice on this YouTube channel, and a lot of filmmaking tips and everything I learned and all the experiences I had. So yeah, it's more YouTube, Instagram, and TikTok also for more content.
So, I'll add those to the description of the video. So, anyone who's interested, just check below. Yeah, Mary, thank you for coming and sharing your story. Been awesome to hear that someone with 8 years of filmmaking experience is still finding so much value from something like the real world for $50, and
Yeah.
you're diversifying into other assets such as crypto, potentially getting into e-commerce to even increase your income even further. And yeah, there's so much potential there. So it's great to hear that you're implementing everything and everything's going well for you. And in some point in future, we can do a follow up as well to document your progress and see how much better you're doing by then as well. And until then, I wish you all the best.
Thank you. Thanks a lot. That was a very great interview, and it's an honor to be here with you talking about my journey. And the journey has just begun. So let's work.
Indeed, it has.